you know how I like sci-fi? In our virtual green room right now is Benoit Blanchard, and he has written, he's actually got a series, and this is the second book in his series, Cyberbrain, Guardian Angel. He joins us now. Hey, Benoit, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, I'm pleased.
So let's talk about how you came up. First of all, let's talk about Cyberbrain and this series. Tell the people listening what it's about.
It's about cybers, which are, it's a word that I coined for the purpose of the novel. It's an electronic device that's inserted in the brains of people so that to guide them in how they think, so that they wouldn't be able to think about committing crimes.
Ooh, and you know that other people have tried to tackle that in different ways, and that's one of the fears for some people that will actually happen. How'd you come up with the story?
Actually, I had a dream once about someone who had such a device implanted in his brain, and he was the device was defective in his case, and it wasn't doing his job. So he felt like he had to flee from the law, from his country, in order to be free.
Ooh.
And that dream gave me the idea for the novel.
And in the novel, you talk about Canada and the United States, and of course, you're originally right from Montreal. You're from Canada.
Yes.
And now living in the United States, so did you decide it would be kind of neat to take both, look at the efforts in Canada and look at the efforts in the United States to stop this threat, this cyber?
Actually, in the novel, one country went ahead with this threat. Well, it didn't call it a threat, but it went ahead with the project, while the other country, Canada, decided to not go with it.
So you made the United States the bad guys in a way.
Actually, it worked better with the geography of everything because of the Buffalo area.
Yeah.
You have Buffalo, which, although the city is in the United States, it lives very much in the shadow of Toronto. You can feel that in the entire city.
Yeah. Boy, that's so true. I've spent time in both cities, and you're absolutely right. Buffalo is in the shadow of, like, Toronto. It's so close you can almost touch it. It almost seems as though it's in Canada. So tell us about one of your characters. Tell us about Dr. Alston.
Dr. Alston is a neurosurgeon, what you might call a brain surgeon, who was recruited to implement the cyber program when it was first decided. So, and he was all against it. He performed one procedure and then he called it quits. He even gave in his resignation, effective immediately. Then he fled to Canada, where he got a tenure to teach at McGill University, and he is preparing, what would I say, his own revenge against the program to stop it.
So Dr. Alston is trying to stop it. And it's interesting, you talked about, I mean, the main thing is here, you talk about the cyber, you talk about this electronic device that has it successfully, and you talk about this in the book, and we don't want to give everything away, but has it successfully diminished the crime rates by the people who have them? The thoughts?
Well, in the book, you learn that the government of the United States didn't have the never had the resources to a full implementation of the program, but even the partial implementation showed some results, but they can't tell whether it's a placebo effect or if it's real. but there are signs that show that it's real.
Ooh. So after you write the first one, you write the second one. How did that feel to come up with the idea and then actually do this? Because, it's fun, I think, to do science fiction, but it can be tricky when you get deep into a story. What was that like for you?
Well, first of all, I had to make sure the story was credible. When I compare, there are two Batman movies that I can compare: the series made by Tim Burton and then the series made by the Dark Knight trilogy, which are very different. And one looks more like a fairy tale, and the other looks like, hey, how is Batman even possible in the real world? So I wanted to be like Christopher Nolan, do something that can be credible in the real world.
I like it.
That was my biggest challenge.
Yeah, I bet it was. So that meant you had to do some research on this.
Oh yes, I had to take a crash course in medicine, and especially in neuromedicine. I never studied in that field.
Wow, so you took a crash course in it so that you could make sure that when you're talking about something related to the brain, it makes sense and it's more accurate?
Exactly.
Wow, good for you. I agree with you on Christopher Nolan, by the way, because I like The Dark Knight better. And I love that analogy that's what you wanted to do. What do you hope people take away from reading your book, reading this latest book?
What I want to do is that, when people read the novels like, let's say, George Orwell's 1984, they find a dystopian world, but no thought is given into how the dystopian world managed to get implemented in the first place. How did we come to this point? So that's the kind of thought I wanted to give my readers. How does a dystopian world come true?
Is there going to be a third book in this series?
It's in the process right now. I'm writing it. I've just begun. I'm writing the first draft, and it should be out in about 1 year to 2 years.
Wow, good for you, Benoit Blanchard. And again, the book Cyberbrain, Guardian Angel, it's the second book in the series. The first book is Cyberbrain, of course, and you can pick that up on Amazon. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you.